Let's dive into our last solo talk of the morning. We've got a panel still to go. I'd like to invite to the stage Juhani, our talker from Return Entertainment, to talk about TV gaming. Come on up. Come on, Juhani. Welcome to the stage. There's your clicker.
All right.
And your timer will come on the screen there.
All right. Yeah. So hey, hello everybody, and my name is Juhani, and I've been in the gaming industry for the last 20 years. I co-founded one of the first free-to-play studios in the world in South Korea, in Seoul, and that was acquired by Comtuas. And then I was leading the creation of Rovio's Beacon platform, which was acquired by Sega lately, just a few months ago. And I've been also heading Rovio's subsidiary in cloud gaming, and we were the first ones to create cloud gaming service for mobile, and we were having global operations working with hundreds of publishers. And now I'm exec chairman of Return Entertainment, and we are working on a new wave of TV gaming, and this is something like I wanted to talk you a little bit about today. And if you want to go, you can check the returnentertainment.com like for the details what we are doing. But really, like the lines between the on-demand video and the gaming, it's getting more blurred, like going forward. So, like, if you think like 10 years ago, Netflix was just starting. People were talking a lot about like, okay, on-demand entertainment, videos on demand, and whatnot. And now the same change is going to happen with the games. I'm sure that many of you have already seen the news about Netflix entering the field. Netflix is going to provide cloud games with their service. And I'm pretty confident that everybody else in the VOD industry is going to introduce and include the games in their service as well. So the living room is really transitioning from just linear or like on-demand, non-interactive entertainment to be more gaming-focused going forward. And then, like, I think there is a big elephant in the room I wanted to address first. So this is actually like my first presentation since COVID, and like at the time, like we were talking a lot about Stadia, and I thought like I wouldn't mention Stadia this time, but I think I need to do that. And the thing is that with the Stadia, the whole industry started to think that the hardcore gaming audience is the ideal audience for the TVs. And it's kind of like extension of PC and the console gaming, and it's replacing the console problem that people don't have the high-end GPUs. So with the cloud gaming, we bring those GPUs to your TV. But it's been like largely about kind of typical console games, like what people have been talking since Assassin's Creed, the Cyberpunk, the other first-person shooters, like really hardcore gaming, like that really has stealed the focus of cloud gaming. And I think Stadia kind of proved that it might not be the only option. It might not be even a viable path forward. So is the TV gaming just extension of console gaming going forwards, or is there something else in the picture as well? So I think many of, like, even the Roblox, they mentioned this, but like it's about 50-50 split these days between the women and the men, like, who play the video games. And interesting, like only like 10% of the people identify them as gamers. So 90% of people are not gamers. And even so for the women, so I would say like 95% of the women do not identify them as gamers. So that is kind of like a discrepancy like between the Stadia approach, the hardcore gaming approach, and the actual audience, what there is for the gaming. And if you think like people like who are in the living rooms, who are watching the TV, who are using Netflixes and other VOD services, they are probably not gamers. So is there a point of like providing games for this hardcore audience when the audience is really not hardcore at all? Like there's probably like 0% of hardcore gamers. So I think we have to see and we have to start thinking that there's a transition from these gamer pros to more casual players in terms of TV gaming. Because one of these things, like about the Stadia, about the other cloud gaming services, is that they replace the consoles. They bring you the better GPU to play with. But that's only what hardcore gamers really appreciate. The AAA games, the Assassin's Creed or the Cyberpunks, they are only played by the hardcore gamers. Only those players appreciate maybe the latest ray tracing. Only those people even know like what these games are about or how to play them. They are very complex things to play. They require very long session times to really understand what you are even doing. But then like the TV audience is so opposite. It's really like casual people who are just seeking these bite-sized moments of fun, that want to play something quickly, effortlessly, with their friends, with their family, with their kids, maybe their grandparents, and so on. So it's really about like shared moments with the people you love, and it's really not about these long gaming sessions. It's not about AAA graphics. It's not about console gaming at all. And one of the, I believe, like one of the promises of the cloud gaming is really effortless, frictionless experience, and that's what I've been working for like last 7 years to tell to people that the cloud gaming makes games more accessible. And that is a like ideal thing if you think of like casual audience, if you think people who are watching Netflix or other VOD services, that when they are watching the movie, maybe they want to play right after the game, like that's based on the same IP. But that has to be swift, that has to be fast, and you have to make it as frictionless as possible. So no downloads, no kind of waiting for installation or any of that. And one of the things, I've been in the cloud gaming for now, I think, 8 years. And most of the services out there were built on the premise that you have actually this concrete physical gamepad you play the games with. But then if you think of the TV audience, nobody has the gamepads. Even they have them, they probably don't have them full of like battery and recharged. So it's likely that even if you wanted to play, you don't have the gamepads ready to play with. But then the mobile is really something like that everybody has their hands. So we believe, and I believe like many in the industry now believe, that the mobile is the ultimate controller for the TV gaming experience. But it also means a lot in terms of the game design, that how you actually use the mobile phone for the controlling the game. And it's not just about the controlling, it's also that the mobile gives you kind of a second screen for the whole gaming experience. So I believe like in the future, and that is something what we are building in return as well, is that we are building the games that take advantage of this mobile as a real second screen for the gaming experience. So it's not just a virtual gamepad, it's not something like you use kind of as in replacement for the physical game controller, but it's kind of extension of the gameplay on your mobile. So this really makes it necessary to think TV games from ground up and design them for the TVs. That TV gaming really, what we believe, it's not about bringing this existing PC or the console games to this new TV format, but it's really about creating new kinds of gaming that's more bite-sized, it's more social, it's more fun, and that you can actually start to play it instantly without waiting, without going through long tutorials. So it's kind of a completely new world of game making, what is now happening and what is now being born in coming years. And one of the things here is that this is again like one of these kind of I would say like key things, like what people are always talking, the latency of the cloud gaming, and like, is the Stadia having the enough low latency to play the latest first-person shooter and so on. But the thing is that one of the challenges really is that people don't have great internet, and the casual audience doesn't even know what a great internet means. Lots of people say, okay, they have a high-speed internet, but they're still using old Wi-Fi boxes, which do not really allow for really low latency or the stable experience. So all the cloud gaming services are struggling to reach the wider audience, wider TV audience, because of the network and the technical issues. And I don't believe like those problems are going away anytime soon. There are so many factors affecting the last mile, and it's so difficult to get it right. So we believe that instead of fighting the latency and really trying to find the optimal spots where you can play the games, that you should actually design the games so that they are latency friendly. That it's not really about minimizing the latency, but it's about designing the gameplay and choosing game genres that you can play with higher latencies. Because if you do that, you can suddenly not only address 5% of the best TV users with a low latency internet connection, but you can actually access 100% of TV users in the US, in the Brazil, globally. And there are hundreds of millions, if not billions, TVs sold every year. So it's a huge market, and largely it's currently completely untapped market because the cloud gaming services are really focusing on this low latency thing, and they can't really address the wide market. So we believe like kind of turning the tables on the game design, and instead of fighting the latency, embracing it itself, like will bring better results. And really the idea, and I believe like the focus is really about these fun moments, because if you think to the casual audience, it has to be something that resonates with the families, it has to be something that resonates with the woman, you can play with the kids, etc. So I have quite often used this Nintendo Supercell as a great example of TV gaming. That if you think of like these old ages, the TV consoles or the video games, if you will, they were all about like having shared fun with your friends. You had these multiple controllers you could be playing with, and that was really like the most important part of the gameplay. That you actually had really fun time with the family. And if you now think, the console games do not have that same approach. How many times did you play console games with your friends or the family? That I've been trying to do that with my kids, but it's just really hard to find something you can actually play that is fun, that's bite-sized enough to play, for example, like 15 minutes like before dinner time or something like that. So yeah, we believe that the TV gaming is going to be completely separate area from console and the PC gaming. And we are one of the companies like really focusing on creating this new wave of games. And I also believe like there will be more services other than Netflix embracing this the cloud gaming like going forwards as well. But yeah, that was all I wanted to share with you today. And please check our website or just come over and talk with me like later on, like today, or in the magazine in the night, if you will. And yeah, that's my contact details as well. Like if you want to send me something. But yeah, hey, thanks a lot. And if you have any questions, happy to answer.
Thank you very much. That was great. Very interesting. Thank you. And yeah, we're seeing a lot of news around TV gaming being coming our way on Pocket Gamer. It's a very interesting topic. Do we have any questions? We've got a couple of minutes for questions. There's one here in the row here. If you've got a mic, thank you.
Thanks for the presentation. And my question is that do you think what would be the suitable business model for a gaming service like this?
That's an excellent question. So about the business model, like how we see it going forward, I do believe like there's going to be two major models here. The one is that it's part of subscription model of VOD services. So it's part of the bundle of you get to watch the TV shows, movies, and the games on the same go. So it's a subscription-based model. But what we also see is like what is happening there, that people are starting to have this subscription fatigue, that people already have like too many subscriptions going on. So I do believe like ad-funded model and the monetization is viable one as well. Especially with the model of this latency-friendly gaming, it actually enables some cost savings like on the cloud side as well, so it makes it more economical as well. But I think those two models, I don't believe in a separate subscription model that much because of the subscription fatigue that's there.
Really good point.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have another question? Is there someone at the back so I could round the pillar? There we go. Go for it.
Yeah, so I was curious, how do people interact with this game? Is it going to be another channel on a Roku? How do people see this in their homes?
Yeah, that's an exciting question. So we are now working with some partners on bringing our games to public, but the experience will be super smooth and frictionless. So our vision is that you just see the QR code on your home screen on the TV. You don't need to access any of the services, and you can just scan the QR code with your mobile, and the game starts, and your mobile transforms to the controller of the experience.
Great question. People have to get used to how to interface with these games.
Yeah, very good.
Any other questions? We've got a minute. We can take maybe one more question before we move on to our panel.
Yeah, back there.
Oh, well, good spot.
Yeah, so thanks for the presentation. And to extend on the previous question, so what I want to ask is, how are you going to display this on your TV? Because your TV is just a displaying device, so it still need something to executing all the code. Usually you have to, I don't know, like smart TV, or you have to connect it to a console or something. So how are you going to make the gaming appear on the TV?
A good question, like how to make it actually happen. So it a little bit depends on like what kind of TV OS you have. Either like using web-based streaming of video, or then using a small native application that's embedded in the TV. We want to make it frictionless, so we are working closely with our partners to make it as smoothly so that people don't need to go and download any separate applications. We've been also developing our own streaming protocol that is enabling this latency-friendly gaming that the other gaming services using WebRTC, it's not really suitable for the model. So yeah, either a native app or the web app, and so that people don't need to do anything.
That's great, thank you. I'll tell you what, let's leave it there and give you a round of applause. I think if people have more questions for you, and this is a fascinating topic, I think we're going to see more and more about console-less gaming TV. I think that's going to be, as we go forward. If you want to have a talk to Juhani about this, look you up on, your email's there, but find you on Meet to Match.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, another round of applause on that. What a great topic. Thank you very much.